Hi, this is James Zhang with Old Capital, and I'm here today with David.Austin to talk about a new deal that recently came out called Fountains of Jupiter. So, David, maybe to kick it off, tell us a little bit about your background, and then we'll jump into this new deal.
Thanks, James. David.Austin, grew up here in Dallas, lived here my whole life, worked at JLL now for almost 10 years, focus on Class B and C apartments in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Okay, perfect. So this deal, Fountains of Jupiter, just came out, 108 units in Dallas. So maybe we'll pull up the slide on sort of where it sits in Dallas, and then maybe get into a little bit of the background of the deal and sort of the location.
Sure. The property is located at Jupiter and 635 in Northeast Dallas. Good workforce location. The property was built in 1986. It's 108 units. It's a rare situation where our seller is actually the original developer of the property. So they've owned it for 35 years, managed it themselves, have kept turnover really low and occupancy really high. So they're 99% occupied. Turnover averages about 25%. So there's probably some pent up demand there for organic rent growth. Strong location with access off of 635 to a number of different employment bases. One of the closest is the Southwest Garland industrial submarket, which has like 36 million square feet that supplies a lot of jobs to the area. You're also not too far from White Rock Lake and East Dallas and a lot of the amenities surrounding that amenity base.
All right, so here's some pictures. So 1980s, mostly brick exterior. So they kept up the property really well. So we'll dive into a little bit more about sort of, you said it's 108 units. So let's jump into sort of the unit mix and some of the exterior items and interiors.
Yeah, really efficient property, 108 units. They operate it with one manager and one maintenance person. The unit mix is entirely made up of studios and one bedrooms, which I think caters really well to the demographics in this location. You have a high level of young professionals that work and live in this location, and is evidenced by the 99% occupancy and really low turnover. They stay really full. And have been pushing rents as well. The property is made up of concrete parking lot. You have access gates, copper plumbing, PVC or copper and PVC plumbing, copper wiring on the interiors. Another unique feature about the property is that you've got washer dryer connections and sets provided in every single unit. So it's a really turnkey experience for the tenants. On the value add side, they've upgraded about half of the units with black or stainless steel appliances, resurfaced countertops, new cabinet fronts and pulls, updated plumbing and lighting fixtures, and faux wood flooring in the wet areas. So that renovation is achieving about $110 premium. There's a handful of units that have stainless steel appliances that are getting another $25. And then there's further continued opportunity through, maybe adding backsplash and microwaves to achieve additional premiums. And then also coming in with kind of a second generation renovation to do a hard surface countertop like granite.
Do you know on those, well, I'll show you some pictures of the upgrades, but roughly do you think, how much do you think they spent on sort of taking it from classic to upgrade, while we put some pictures up here of an upgraded unit?
Yeah, without the appliances, they're spending about 2,500 to 3,000. So add about $1,000 a unit for those appliances, get you all in the 3,500 to 4,000 unit range.
And that's probably
reasonable.
Yeah.
To achieve about $110. So a nice ROI there.
So we put some pictures up here on the renovated unit. So if you walk into the classic, what are you going to see when you walk into a classic, I guess? Because we see the renovated, but what's on the classic side?
Yeah, what you would expect to see from a classic, it's going to be the white or taupe appliances. You'll have your original wood finished cabinets. You'll have carpet, a vinyl laminate flooring, and maybe a resurfaced countertop from being turned over the years, but pretty similar to what you would expect to see in a classic unit.
So in all the units, they have this stackable washer dryer connection, you said?
That's right. It's a unique feature that tenants at the property are actually seeking out and enjoy, evidenced by the high occupancy and low turnover.
So is there a laundry room on the facility, or no at all on the property? Is there?
There's not, since it's provided in every unit.
Okay, no, that's great. And they're not. Are they charging any extras on the washer dryer, or they just comes with the unit?
It's included in rent, which the potential tenants really like. It's a good selling feature for them on the leasing front.
Okay, no, that's great. So let's talk about sort of where rents are and where you think they can go, sort of based on the competition in the market.
Sure. So all 6 of these comps are in that immediate area. I want to highlight 3 of them that are doing kind of a higher level renovation that I think would be really well received at Fountains. So the Hampton on Jupiter, Paces Cove, and the last one, 12610 at the Park, have all done like a granite level renovation. And if you look at the 1-bedroom floor plans, are achieving rents that are $100 to $125 to $150 higher per month. Because the units are smaller in comparison to the other nearby comps in the area, it's really a more efficient unit because these workforce tenants are seeking out a monthly rent amount. And when you can offer them, the same or similar rent to some of the competitors at a smaller unit, it becomes a lot more efficient for the property owner, especially when it comes to turnover costs and making repairs. So those are the 3 that obviously justify the next level of renovation. But even some of these others in the area that haven't done that high level of a renovation are achieving rents that are $50 to $75 higher, which shows continued organic rent growth in the area.
So in the classic units, someone could come in, upgrade those. You're seeing about $110 on the upgraded units. And then even on the upgraded ones, quote unquote, that the seller's done, maybe taking that up another level as well to compete with some of these other ones. You could do that in addition.
Yeah, so they're already proving out the $110 of growth, and then they've also proven out $25 more for stainless steel appliances. They haven't done any backsplash yet, so I think doing that plus maybe some microwaves would justify about $150 of growth. Add granite on top of that, you may be talking about another $50.
Okay, no, that's great. So we pulled up the pro forma here. Any comments on sort of where you think sort of the income statement is today versus where sort of year 1, year 2, you think you can take it?
Sure. Going kind of from the top down, we just covered rent growth. There is a maintenance shop unit that is actually a 2-bedroom. I believe it was made originally and built for the property manager and now has been a maintenance shop for years and years. I would suggest getting that back online, releasing that for about $1,300 a month, and turning one of your smallest units, one of the studios, into your maintenance shop. So you get a more high functioning and high dollar unit back on the market, which should help your rental income a little bit. On the other income side of things, they don't have any covered parking or reserve parking. Those 2 things would obviously be pretty easy to implement and are justified by the comps in the area that have those and are achieving premiums. On the last highlight that you pointed out there, since this is owned and managed by the same group, they pay themselves kind of an above market management fee. So that's obviously something you want to adjust in your go forward operations. Okay.
All right. No, that's great. Yes. I mean, we looked at this a couple of different ways on the debt side, but before we jump into that, was there sort of a estimated whisper price on this deal, David?
We're whispering 9.5 to 10 million, which is a really attractive basis on a price per unit. You're in the low to mid 90s a door for 1986 product.
Right. Okay. No, that's perfect. So we looked at it a couple different ways. We started sort of your Freddie, Fannie, and so those are going to size based off of your in-place income. And so on the Freddie side, we're seeing about 7 million, and that initial rate is probably going to be anywhere from 3 to 3.25. We're seeing about 3 years IO, and then your P&I reserve would be about 6 months IO. But we've seen some of those get waived just depending on the leverage and the experience of the group. On the Fannie side, we're seeing those spreads come down as well. So we're about 7 million on this one, and then if you wanted a fixed rate, it'd probably be about 3.5 to 3.75, just depending on what prepayment structure you chose, and anywhere from 1 to 3 years IO. And then our favorites of the quarter, the non-recourse bridge. Those guys are sitting anywhere from 75 to 80% of purchase price, 100% of rehab. And then we've seen, this is a little bit smaller loan, but anywhere from 3.5 plus LIBOR all the way up to 4% on LIBOR. So starting rate, you're anywhere from 375 to 425, just depending on your experience as a buyer. And then also just sort of what leverage point you want to take it in at, whether it's 75 or 80. And we're seeing sort of full term IO, probably 3-year initial term on that type of debt. So those are your sort of 3 options on this deal. Do you guys, I know the deals just came out, but do you guys have the call for offers date quite yet set out, David?
We haven't officially set that date yet. We're targeting the last week of May.
Okay. All right. So what's the best way for, if someone's interested in the deal, to reach out and set up a tour or get some more information?
Yeah, just give me a call or shoot me an email. We're happy to meet you out there for a property tour or to walk through the deal in detail over the phone. It's a great opportunity of 1986 built at a really attractive basis. So we think this will be a really good acquisition for someone.
All right. Thanks a lot, David.
Thanks, James.
All right. See you.
Bye.